Podcast Talk. Learn English naturally.
How to think fast and speak smart.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Podcast Hub. I'm John.
And I'm Daniela. Welcome to today's episode, which is all about one of the most valuable skills you can develop.
Today, we're talking about how to think fast and speak smart, how to articulate your thoughts quickly, respond intelligently in conversations, and communicate with confidence and clarity.
This is a skill that helps you in job interviews, presentations, debates, networking events, and everyday conversations.
And while some people seem naturally quick-witted, the good news is that quick thinking and smart speaking are skills you can develop through practice and strategy.
So whether you're preparing for important conversations in English or just want to be more articulate in daily life, this episode will give you practical techniques.
But before we start, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications, and comment below. Let's start with the foundation. Daniela, what does it mean to think fast?
Thinking fast means being able to process information quickly, make connections, and formulate responses without long pauses or fumbling for words.
It's about mental agility, the ability to shift between ideas, see patterns, and respond appropriately in the moment.
But here's something important. Thinking fast doesn't mean rushing or being impulsive. It means being mentally prepared and having frameworks to organize your thoughts quickly.
Right. And speaking smart means communicating your ideas clearly, concisely, and persuasively. It's not about using big words, it's about being understood.
Exactly. Someone who speaks smart can explain complex ideas in simple terms, knows when to elaborate and when to be brief, and adapts their communication style to their audience.
So let's start with the mental preparation aspect. How can you train your brain to think faster?
First, expand your knowledge base. The more you know about various topics, the faster you can make connections and respond to questions.
Read widely, listen to podcasts, watch documentaries, engage in diverse conversations. You're building a mental library you can draw from quickly.
Second, practice active thinking. Don't just passively consume information. Engage with it. Ask yourself questions, form opinions, consider counter-arguments.
When you read an article, don't just absorb it. Think, do I agree? What are the implications? What would I add? What's missing? This trains your brain to process information actively and quickly.
Now let's talk about a crucial skill for quick thinking, pattern recognition.
Our brains think in patterns. When you encounter a new situation, your brain searches for similar patterns from past experience.
The more patterns you've stored, the faster you can recognize situations and respond appropriately.
How do you build these patterns? Through experience and exposure. The more conversations you have, the more you'll recognize common types of questions, objections, and discussion topics.
Pay attention to recurring themes in conversations. This is similar to when we discussed that recognition helps you access relevant thoughts quickly.
Now let's discuss a powerful technique for quick thinking, mental frameworks.
A mental framework is a structure you can use to organize your thoughts quickly. Instead of starting from scratch every time, you plug information into a ready-made template.
Can you give an example?
Sure. The past, present, future framework. When asked about almost anything, you can structure your response. In the past, X was the case. Currently, we're seeing Y. Looking ahead, I predict Z.
That works for discussing industries, technologies, career paths, almost anything.
Another framework is problem, solution, benefit. State the problem, propose a solution, explain the benefit.
Or agree, build, redirect. When someone makes a point, agree with part of it, build on it, then redirect to your perspective.
These frameworks give your brain a structure to work with, so you're not organizing from scratch in real time.
Now, let's talk about the pause. Many people think pausing makes you look uncertain, but strategic pausing is actually powerful.
A brief pause before responding shows you're thoughtful. It gives you a moment to organize your thoughts.
Instead of jumping in with, well, I think, take a breath, pause for 1 or 2 seconds, then speak.
You can also use verbal pauses that sound more intentional than or
Like what?
That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment. Here's what I'd say. Or, that's interesting. My take is...
These phrases buy you a second to think while sounding deliberate and professional.
Now let's discuss the importance of listening for quick thinking and smart speaking.
This might seem counterintuitive, but good listening actually helps you speak better.
When you truly listen, you understand what's being asked. You can respond directly to the actual question, and you avoid wasting time on irrelevant tangents.
Many people start formulating their response before the other person finishes speaking. This leads to missing key information and giving off-target responses.
Listen fully, then respond. You'll actually be faster and more relevant.
Plus, when you listen well, you can incorporate what the other person said into your response, which makes you sound engaged and smart.
You mentioned X, which connects to my experience with Y. This shows your processing and connecting ideas.
Now let's discuss vocabulary and word choice. How does vocabulary affect your ability to think fast and speak smart?
Having a robust vocabulary gives you options. You can choose the precise word that conveys your meaning, rather than fumbling for approximations.
But here's the key. Use appropriate vocabulary, not unnecessarily complex vocabulary.
Speaking smart isn't about showing off big words. It's about clarity and precision.
If you can say something in simple words, do. Start is often better than commence. Use is often better than utilize.
However, sometimes a precise word is perfect. Ambiguous conveys something specific that unclear doesn't quite capture.
The goal is clarity, not complexity. Always ask, will my audience understand this word? Is there a simpler alternative that works just as well?
Now let's discuss how to handle questions you don't know the answer to. This happens to everyone.
First rule, don't fake it. Don't pretend to know something you don't. You'll get caught and you'll lose credibility.
Instead, be honest. I don't know the answer to that, but here's what I do know. Or, that's outside my expertise, but I can speak to the related issue of why.
You can also defer. I don't have that information right now, but I can find out and get back to you.
Or turn it into a conversation. I'm not sure. What's your take on it? This shows humility and keeps the dialogue going.
Smart people don't know everything. They know what they know and what they don't know.
Now let's talk about storytelling as a tool for quick thinking and smart speaking.
Stories are incredibly powerful because they're memorable, engaging, and they illustrate points better than abstract explanations.
And if you have a collection of stories ready, you can deploy them quickly when relevant.
Keep a mental or written library of personal anecdotes, examples from work, stories you've heard, case studies you know.
When someone asks about leadership, you can quickly pull out a story about a time you led a team. When discussing failure, you have a story about a lesson you learned.
The structure of a good, quick story is simple. Context, action, result, lesson.
When I was working at XYZ company, context, we faced a major deadline, action. We pulled together and delivered on time, result, which taught me the importance of teamwork, lesson.
30 seconds, clear message, memorable. That's smart speaking.
Now let's discuss the bridging technique for redirecting conversations or answering difficult questions.
Bridging is when you acknowledge a question or comment, then transition to the point you actually want to make.
Politicians use this constantly. They get asked one question but answer with the message they want to convey.
The structure is acknowledge, bridge, redirect.
That's an important concern, and what's really crucial here is, or, I appreciate that question and it relates to a broader point about.
You're not dodging, you're steering the conversation toward where you want it to go.
This is especially useful in job interviews. You might get a question about a weakness, and you can bridge to a strength.
I used to struggle with public speaking, but that's actually what led me to join Toastmasters, and now is one of my strengths.
You acknowledged the question, then redirected to a positive.
Now let's talk about how to organize your thoughts in real time when speaking.
One of the best techniques is numbering or signposting. Tell your audience the structure before you deliver it.
There are 3 reasons why this is important. First, second, third.
This does 2 things. It helps you organize your thoughts as you speak, and it helps your audience follow along.
Even if you only think of 2 reasons instead of 3, you've still provided structure.
Other signposts, let me break this into 2 parts, or there are a couple things to consider here, or I'd answer that on 3 levels.
This makes you sound organized and thoughtful, even if you're formulating ideas on the spot.
Now let's discuss the power of analogies and metaphors for explaining complex ideas quickly.
Analogies are shortcuts to understanding. Instead of explaining something technically, you compare it to something familiar.
Cloud computing is like renting storage space instead of buying a filing cabinet.
In one sentence, someone who knows nothing about technology understands the concept.
The key is choosing analogies your audience will understand. Don't use a baseball analogy if your audience doesn't know baseball.
Practice creating analogies for concepts in your field. The more you practice, the faster you can generate them in conversation.
Now let's talk about confidence and body language because these affect how smart you sound.
You can say something brilliant, but if you say it quietly, hunched over, avoiding eye contact, people won't receive it well.
Conversely, you can say something fairly ordinary, but if you say it confidently with good posture and clear voice, it lands well.
Stand or sit up straight, make eye contact, speak at an appropriate volume, use hand gestures naturally.
And control your vocal pace. Speaking too fast makes you sound nervous. Speaking too slowly can sound uncertain.
Find a moderate pace, vary it for emphasis, slow down on important points, speed up on background information.
Now let's discuss how to practice thinking fast and speaking smart.
One excellent exercise is the random topic challenge. Have someone give you a random topic and speak about it for 1 to 2 minutes.
It could be anything: potatoes, the color blue, traffic lights. The topic doesn't matter. You're practicing quick thinking and organization.
At first, you'll struggle. That's normal. But over time, you'll get faster at finding things to say and structuring your thoughts.
Another practice method is debate. Join a debate club or just debate topics with friends.
Debate forces you to think on your feet, respond to counterarguments, and articulate positions quickly.
You can also practice by watching talks or debates and pausing to formulate your own response before hearing theirs.
What would I say here? How would I answer that question? Then compare your answers to theirs.
Now let's talk about reading the room and adapting your communication.
Smart speaking isn't just about what you say, it's about saying the right thing for your audience.
Pay attention to cues. Are people engaged or bored? Do they look confused or understanding?
If you see confusion, pause and say, "Let me put that another way," or "Does that make sense?"
If people look bored, speed up or change your approach. Bottom line is, and get to the point.
If they're deeply engaged and nodding, you can elaborate more.
Adjust your vocabulary based on your audience. Technical jargon is fine with experts, but use plain language with general audiences.
Now let's discuss handling interruptions or challenges during your speaking.
Sometimes people will interrupt you or challenge what you're saying. How you handle this shows your quick thinking.
Stay calm, don't get defensive. Acknowledge their point without conceding if you disagree.
That's one perspective, or I see where you're coming from. Then continue, or address their point briefly.
You can also use it as an opportunity. That's exactly the objection I was about to address. Here's my response.
This shows you anticipated the challenge and you're thoughtful, not reactive.
Now let's talk about the importance of brevity. Smart speakers know when to stop talking.
Many people keep talking long after they've made their point, diluting their message.
The rule is, make a point, support it briefly, then stop. Don't keep adding tangents and qualifications.
If you can say it in 3 sentences instead of 3 minutes, do.
Especially in professional settings, people appreciate conciseness. Time is valuable.
You can always add more if asked, but you can't unsay what you've already said.
Now let's discuss how to handle nervousness, because anxiety can slow your thinking and muddle your speaking.
First, recognize that some nervousness is normal and even helpful. It shows you care and can sharpen your focus.
But excessive nervousness interferes with clear thinking. What helps?
Preparation. The more prepared you are, the less nervous you'll be. You're drawing on ready knowledge, not improvising everything.
Deep breathing. Before important conversations, take a few slow, deep breaths. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and calms you.
Reframe nervousness as excitement. Tell yourself, I'm excited instead of I'm nervous. Your brain responds to how you label the feeling.
And practice, practice, practice. The more you put yourself in situations requiring quick thinking, the more comfortable you become.
Now let's talk about the importance of staying current and informed.
You can't speak smartly about topics you know nothing about. You need to stay informed about current events, trends in your field, and general knowledge.
Read news daily. Follow thought leaders in your industry. Listen to podcasts. Watch TED Talks.
This gives you material to draw from in conversations. You can reference recent events, studies, or expert opinions.
I just read an article about this, or there's been recent research showing this demonstrates you're informed and current.
Now let's discuss the role of questions in smart speaking.
Asking good questions is often smarter than making statements. Questions show you're thinking critically.
Instead of saying, I disagree, you might ask, have you considered the opposite perspective? Or, what about the case where X doesn't apply?
Questions engage others, show respect for their input, and often lead to deeper conversations than statements alone.
And questions can buy you time to think. That's interesting. Can you elaborate on what you mean by that?
While they're elaborating, you're formulating your response.
Now, let's do a practical exercise. I'll give you a challenging question, and you demonstrate how to answer using the techniques we've discussed.
Okay, I'm ready.
Why should we hire you for this position?
That's a great question. I'd answer that in 3 parts. First, my background. I have 5 years of experience in digital marketing, specifically in growing social media audiences, which directly aligns with your needs. Second, my approach. I believe in data-driven strategies, combined with creative storytelling, and I've successfully increased engagement by 200% in my current role. Third, my motivation. I'm genuinely excited about your company's mission to make education accessible, and I want to contribute to that impact. So it's really the combination of relevant experience, proven results, and genuine passion for your mission that makes me a strong fit.
Excellent. Let's break down what you did right.
I used a brief pause to collect my thoughts. I structured my answer with signposting, 3 parts. I was specific with numbers, 5 years, 200%. I connected my experience to their needs, and I showed genuine interest in their mission.
Perfect analysis. That's exactly how to think fast and speak smart.
Now let's discuss some common mistakes people make when trying to think fast and speak smart.
Mistake 1. Talking too fast. Speed doesn't equal intelligence. Talking too quickly makes you hard to understand.
Mistake 2, using jargon or complex words to sound smart. This often backfires. You just sound pretentious or confusing.
Mistake 3. Not pausing. Continuous talking without pauses sounds anxious and gives the audience no time to process.
Mistake 4, not listening. You end up answering questions that weren't asked or missing key information.
Mistake 5. Overqualifying everything. I think, maybe, possibly, in my opinion. Just state your point confidently.
Mistake 6, rambling without structure. Get to the point, support it, and stop.
Now, as we wrap up, let's give practical action steps for our listeners.
Action step 1, practice the random topic exercise. Every day, pick a random word and speak about it for 1 minute. This builds mental agility.
Action step 2, record yourself speaking. Listen back. Notice filler words, pace, clarity. Work on improving one thing at a time.
Action step 3, read for 30 minutes daily on diverse topics. Build your knowledge base and expose yourself to different ways of explaining ideas.
Action step 4, join a speaking group like Toastmasters or a debate club. Regular practice in a supportive environment is invaluable.
Action step 5, before important conversations, prepare mental frameworks and key stories you might use.
Action step 6, after conversations or presentations, reflect. What went well? What could improve? This builds self-awareness.
And remember, thinking fast and speaking smart are skills. You're not born with them, you develop them through intentional practice.
Don't compare yourself to people who've been practicing for years. Compare yourself to who you were last month.
Progress, not perfection.
Every conversation is practice. Every presentation is learning.
Thank you all so much for joining us on English Podcast Hub today. We hope this episode has given you practical tools to think faster and speak smarter.
Remember, the goal isn't always to have the perfect answer. The goal is to communicate clearly, confidently, and authentically.
If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with anyone who wants to improve their communication skills.
And practice. Pick one technique from today and use it in your next conversation.
Until next time, think clearly, speak confidently, and keep improving.
See you next week.